Hello. Yes,
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for joining the room. My name's Graeme Eaglesham, CEO and co-founder of Future Kids. So just wanted to thank you guys for letting us talk today. And before we get into the topic that you came for, I just wanted to explain a little bit about Future Kids and introduce the team, and then give you a bit of background about Future Kids, and then we'll jump right into the topic. So for those that don't know, Future Kids is now Nebraska's largest after-school sports program, and we deliver soccer and tennis and fitness programs to over 1,000 kids every week across Nebraska, over 60 schools. So we're really trying to get out there in Nebraska and get to as many different locations as we can. So I'll pass it to the team. These are the guys that are helping make it all happen, and let them introduce themselves.
My name's Darren Callaghan. I'm the other co-founder and program director of Future Kids.
Hi there, my name is Nadeau, and I'm the Director of Operations at Future Kids. A little background, I graduated from UNO, and I've been with Future Kids for about 3 years now. Some of my responsibilities involve organizing different events throughout the year, such as this one, as well as tracking and reporting for various grants we have, and resolving any issues we may run into on any given day. But we're really excited to be here, so thank you for joining us.
Afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Arch, formerly of Challenger Sports. We were the largest soccer coaching company in North America, coached about 200,000 kids every year. And as a founder, I wrote the curriculum and kids activities that impacted over 1 million young soccer players in my time. I'm very excited to be working with Graeme, Darren, and Erica. I've now set up my own consulting company, and I choose my clients. I look for organizations who are doing something great for kids. And I was ecstatic when I was connected with these guys, and I just love what they're doing in this state. I hope what I can do is bring even more smiles on more kids' faces, and look forward to meeting some of you in the near future.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So yeah, that's the team that makes it all happen. And I wanted to go back a little bit and explain sort of how Future Kids came to be, and then we'll get right into the topic. We started back in 2017. We had one elementary school in North Omaha. When was it? That was Central Park Elementary in 2017. And then we started partnering with different agencies. I see some of them in here, so thanks a lot for working with us. And over the years, that just kind of progressed into 10 schools in Omaha. Then we went to Lincoln, Council Bluffs. Then we added tennis as a program. Then we started expanding into some rural communities. So we've just been growing over the past couple of years, and partnering with guys like you have just been crucial in that growth. And we just see sports in general as the vehicle to just make a difference in kids' lives. We're so just big advocates for physical activity and the benefits it can give a child, and just exercise in general. So we just try and make a fun environment of soccer. Soccer's our biggest program, and we just see the kids enjoy it so much, but they don't know they're exercising. So we've just seen so many benefits from them just working each day. And you can see on the screen here some of the scientific benefits that you'd see in behavior changes, better grades, better test scores. These are all just great benefits we've seen from kids working in our program, and teachers come and tell us, hey, little Johnny, he was behaving not well last week, but we told him you're going to not go to soccer on Tuesday if you don't behave. So little things like that has helped even teachers and site directors control the behaviors in their program. And then, you've got this brain diagram behind me here. And when I saw that, I just immediately thought of a couple of our programs. Not all of the kids are the greatest athletes in the world, but they're moving, they're walking, and this little diagram shows the difference. Even just after a 20-minute walk in a child's brain, you can see the activity there. So when I see so many of our kids that maybe aren't the greatest athletes in the world, we know we're still making a difference and just getting them moving. And we all see the importance of exercise. So that's what we try and promote, that healthy lifestyle through the activities that we provide the youth. And then I'm going to let Darren talk a little bit about the habits of our life.
And one of the things for us, we want to go beyond just our regular programming as well. So we want to create healthy habits throughout life. And with that, we all know you keep on a regular schedule, you're getting those habits, you're going to improve your life throughout. And the study is shown in here that kids are 8 times likely to be more active at the age of 24. And that's something that we want to continue throughout our program. And with that, just the value of exercise, keeping kids moving is one of the biggest things. Like Graeme said, we're not here to try and create the next Lionel Messi, but we do want physical activity to be key. And the health benefits that go along with that are just exponential beyond our program, and we want to continue with that. And we talk about coming from a pandemic. One thing we always talk about is a real pandemic, and that is obesity and childhood obesity. So one of the things that we want to continue throughout our program is focusing on that and just continue to move forward and improve that the best that we can.
And I guess really what the next kind of slides come down to is how do we, engage the kids? How do we make it a fun time for the kids? And that really came down to, right, what's the people that we put in place to deliver these programs? And, again, I'll go back to the reason we started Future Kids was that, right, how do we get these good people involved in the after school programs? Well, what it seemed like to us when soccer was our main sport that we started with in the USA, it's a pay to play world in sports, in youth sports anyway. Parents need to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get the best coaches to go and deliver these types of programs. So we were like, well, we don't think that's too fair. So how do we change that whole narrative? And we were able to, partner with different universities to get college athletes and different coaches to go to these programs and be positive role models, but at no cost to the parents themselves. So we really wanted to hit home and serve the underserved communities. It was Omaha that we started in, but that was really the target that we wanted to try and hit, was how do we get these youth involved that maybe don't have a spare $1,000 to go and join the big soccer club in town. So from that's where we thought, okay, we'll use these college students that are positive role models. They're, engaging, they want to get the kids moving. So that's really where it started there. And again, up here, we'll just say about, regardless of the zip code or the financial background of the kids, we wanted them to have that quality coach and just, experience what a real program is. And that gets them excited, and that gets them, the health benefits that we spoke about before. So really that was the whole reason we started. And then again, the next problem we found was, okay, that's in the urban areas. How do we solve the problem in rural areas? And that's again through different partnerships and generosity from different foundations. We were able to find different grant funding to purchase a couple vehicles to pay for programs. So we're actually able to travel coaches from Omaha out to South Sioux City, Columbus, Schuyler, Crete, Columbus, you name it, Walt Hill. These are all places we're going to pretty much every week to deliver the same service. So for the rural areas, it maybe wasn't quite as much a financial disparity. It was more, they just don't have the variant programs out in whatever town we're going to. So those were the two main problems we tried to solve, but it all came back to how do we get good people in front of these kids? So that's what we try and do. So it's a healthy lifestyle, but they aren't going to want to keep coming and keep doing it if it's not a good person and a good role model, pushing that message to the kids, and they're not going to believe what they're saying. So really from there, that will take it into more of our positive values and the message that these coaches are pushing. And I'll let Peter talk a little bit more about the values that we're trying to push to the kids.
Just as a little side note, when I started my former company, it was about the size of what the team have got here now. And I sat in a hotel room like this, pitching to somebody to try and invest in it. And that person was Billie Jean King. She'd come into Kansas City for a benefit tennis match with Andre Agassi and Elton John. And I had a friend who knew her. And I sat down with her and I explained, we're not coaching soccer, we're coaching kids. Soccer is just the vehicle to teach all these life lessons: respect, responsibility, integrity, sportsmanship, leadership, determination. And her eyes lit up. She said, I don't care what sport it is. I want to see this with kids. She was so committed to developing kids, and it stayed with me for many, many years since then. And one of the things that I've done over many years is to really look at these positive values. And I don't believe that kids innately learn them just from playing sports. I don't think you become a really good person from being a standout athlete or the best baseball player or the best basketball player. It takes coaches to intentionally draw out these moments and to teach the kids what it means. What does respect mean? What does responsibility mean? I originally did this work with the NAIA. I don't know if any of you have had any connections with the NAIA universities who developed the Champions of Character initiative. I worked with their team when they first rolled that out. I then had the opportunity to develop it at Challenger Sports with kids ages 4 to 16. Learned very quickly that the message that was going out to college athletes had to be translated into a language that younger kids could understand. And you had to talk to them and explain it in terms they could understand. The values you see on there, we go down them: respect, responsibility, teamwork, sportsmanship, leadership, determination, really are the tenets behind any great athlete, but any great person as well. And if you go on the next one, if we look at each of the values, there are technical definitions for respect, and we could be talking to children about what does it mean to be respectful. And you can give them an example. But really, what's great for future kids is the example at camp or after school program or in a class, that if a kid isn't looking, when I'm talking, I'll say, we did talk about this. Respect means your eyes on me, you hold your soccer ball, and that's respect. Oh, yeah, I get it. Talk about responsibility in the same ways. It's being dependable, making good choices. Make your bed and brush your teeth in the morning. They can understand, oh yeah, I am responsible for that. I've got to show up on time. I need my soccer ball, my shin guards, my water. And you start reinforcing it. And again, I think the word that keeps coming back is intentionally. It isn't just going to happen. The coaches have to play a significant role, just as teachers do and after school program coordinators do. You have to set the tone and bring out these great examples. Teamwork, often hard to do. Kids are very self-centered. They want immediate gratification. They want to see what's good for them. And teaching them, especially through sports, that maybe you just dribbling the ball all the time with your head down isn't the best thing. You may have teammates who are wide open. And if you pass to them, maybe your team will actually win the game rather than you just dribbling on your own. And sportsmanship, a little bit more of a conceptual thing, having to explain to them that there are things you will do for others. You will be fair, you'll be good, and you will help others in the process. You may have to congratulate somebody for doing something that you wanted. You can help somebody up who's fallen down. Oh, he's on the other team. You can still help him up. This is all sportsmanship. Leadership, it's an interesting one because the NAIA actually coined this as servant leadership, which is a little bit too difficult for a 5-year-old, 6-year-old to understand, but it really does stress the need for us to be leaders by our example, rather than thinking it's about being the strongest, loudest, biggest voice in the room and showing you're the leader. It is you set the tone by how you act, and it's how you act on the field, it's how you act in the classroom, it's how you act at home. And that maturity of setting the good example and others will follow is so important. Then determination, obviously, it's something which plays into everybody's lives. These children will need to stick with it. It's the number one predictive factor of who is going to be successful in life has been determined as grit. It is stick-to-itive. Are you going to be the person who can, despite all the obstacles, keep going? Can you become successful despite being knocked back? Can you get up again? Can you keep running when you're tired? Can you keep studying even though you'd rather be outside? So it's a really big part of what we need to be teaching the kids. And over to Graeme.
No, that's awesome, Peter. Thank you. And, as an organization, these are all things that over the past few years, especially once we started, by having good people in place to coach these programs, a lot of the time these things would probably happen naturally, but now as an organization, we're really going to try and be more intentional with these are the values that we're pushing in every session, whether that be, a session that we've been in, our school we've been in for a couple of years now. We're going to make sure our coaches are pushing these values and way more intentional about it. Or if it's a, school out in South Sioux City or wherever else we're going, But these are kind of a list of some of the programs that we deliver as Future Kids. And a little story from the last convention we had over in Omaha. I was talking to a site director that was hours and hours away, and she said, you know, your program looks great, but there's no way you guys are going to come out and visit us in whatever town they were in. And it really stuck with me. And I was like, well, why wouldn't we? You know, so I was racking my brain on how can we make that possible to go and travel to North Platte, Scottsbluff, Santee, you name it. So I thought, well, why should we not be able to go out there? We just got to be, again, intentional with the program that we deliver. So no matter what site you're at, you know, we can make a bespoke program, whether that be a summer camp and it's just the summer because it is 8 hours away, or is it maybe a monthly program, or do you do stuff on the weekends? Of course, after school programming every week is our bread and butter. We do that in a ton of schools already. You know, it could be a sports day or a festival. Really, we're kind of the turnkey solution for a sports program for your organization or your school. We can pop up and do a full day of soccer, or half a day soccer, or half a day tennis, or, you know, some schools are cutting back on PE time. So we are a solution for that type of problem. So if you're ever talking to your principal and you think of a different idea like that, we are more than open to talking about things like that. We want to get kids moving and pushing the right values to kids to make, you know, better adults ultimately. So really that kind of concludes what Future Kids is all about.